Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. Today we are here to learn the basic building block of problem solving process, that is flowchart. Let's get into it. Flowchart is basically a graphical representation of the steps to solve a problem. We use symbols for each step. These symbols are connected with arrows to show flow of processes. On the very left hand side, you can see an example of a flowchart. Flowchart is as important in the problem solving process as the backbone in our body. Just like an architect draws a map of the building before constructing it, similarly, a programmer refers to draw a flowchart prior to writing a computer program. बिल्डिंग गिरा गिरा के दोबारा नहीं बनाई जा सकती. इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट यू कैन ड्रॉ अ मैप, उसको आप री ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं if you need. Similarly, if you want to make a program, just draw a flowchart, a diagram first, how the problem will be solved, and it also helps in verifying that the solution is correct or not. Four requirements to draw a flowchart. The first one is input, means that you have to take the data. Then after taking the data, you will perform calculations on it. And then sometimes we need to make decisions. And in the end, we will get the output or result. There are three types of flowchart. The first one is formula based, in which we use the formulas. For example, here we are calculating the area of the parallelogram, where the formula is area is equals to base into height. The next type is decision based, in which sometimes we have to take decision. For example, here we are checking the number if it's even or odd by using a decision symbol. The third type is recursive flowcharts, in which we have to repeat a step or number of steps many number of times. The flowchart diagram and its symbols were standardized by American National Standards Institute (ANSI) in 1960s. Afterwards, in 1970s, ISO International Organization for Standardization has adopted it, and from then पूरी दुनिया में यही symbols as a standard use होते हैं. Let me introduce you some of the flowchart symbols. The first one, very famous, is start and symbol. Then we have input output, then processing, afterwards decision symbol. These are flow lines. We have two types of connectors. The one is simple connector and the other one is on page, off page connector. Remember their names. Now we are going to learn the details. The first symbol is start and symbol. It's an oval shaped symbol, also known as terminal symbol. You can write start or begin in it, or stop or end. Used in the start and end of the flowchart to show the starting and ending points. The next symbol is input output symbols. Whenever we want to take input from the user and display result, we use the symbol. It's a parallelogram shaped symbol, and don't tilt it towards the left hand side, it's against the standards. Always draw it towards the right side. Next we have processing symbol. It's a rectangular shaped symbol. All the processes, tasks, actions and operations are shown by processing symbol. Only one flow lines come out of the processing symbol, just like this. You can also draw it like this. Next we have decision symbol. A diamond shaped symbol is used to show decision based on a condition. The flow lines coming out of the decision symbol are labeled with yes, no or true, false. Condition is written inside the symbol. In front of you there are two examples. The first one is cake is baked, yes or no. Is total is greater than 50, yes or no. Next we have flow lines. Lines with arrowheads are used to show the flow of process. The usual direction of flow is from top to bottom or left to right. Otherwise you can draw it in any direction. These are used to connect various symbols of flowchart. Connector symbol. It's a small circle. To avoid crisscross of lines in a flowchart, we use connector symbol. It connects multiple lines and put forward a single line as output. Page off page connector is the same symbol having two names. It's a pentagon shaped symbol. When a flowchart becomes very large to fit on a single page, then we call it as off page connector. It is also used to connect different parts of the flowchart on the same page. In this case, we will call it on page connector. The page number or part number is written inside the symbol. Now let's see an example of a flowchart. I'm going to make an omelette by using all the symbols of flowchart so that you can learn how to draw a flowchart. We are going to start with a terminal symbol. Then we will use input output symbol to gather ingredients. The ingredients may vary from person to person. Here I'm going to take simple 4 ingredients: eggs, onions, salt and pepper. The next is the process. We will going to beat the mixture. The next is warm oil in the pan. It's also a process. The next one is also a process. Pour mixture in the pan. Now my page ends here. What should I do? I'm going to use the off page connector, a pentagon shaped symbol, by writing 1 inside it. On the next page, when I'm going to start the rest of my flowchart, then I'm going to start with the same pentagon symbol with the same number inside it. The next process is to cook. We are going to take the decision here. Is omelette cooked? If it's yes, then what to do? Take out in a plate. Remember that input output has the same symbols. Now I'm going to use the same green parallelogram. Take out in plate. Then serve and stop. What is the case if my omelette is not cooked? Then I have to repeat the step. Cook more and go again and check. Now I'm going to crisscross the line here. What should I do? I will use the small yellow connector symbol in order to avoid the crisscross of lines. My all lines are going into the connector symbol and only one is coming out of it. We will learn more examples of the flowchart in the next upcoming videos. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.